the first option that we want to discuss is the in and out option. Located left hand corner, F1. So if I push F1, it says truck ID. I enter into truck ID. Let's just say I put in number 14. Push enter. And then it calls for inbound. And so what we'll do is we will simulate the process. So the green light will mean go. This over here is going to be the weight display. So this is the 4-inch remote display. Green light go, red light means stop. So the first thing that we will focus on is let's simulate pulling on an axle. I have a simulator right here that I am using. So I am going to simulate a weight now. This will be the first weight. And so you'll notice it is telling me to stop. There's the calculated weight there, and then you can see that the remote display reflects that. Green light, now I can move on to the next axle. So then I am going to take the simulator and switch it off, and then I'll switch it back on really quick, and then that simulates the next axle. Okay, so you see axle 2 appeared on the screen. That appeared really fast. But what that means is that it's calculating that, and now I can move on to the next axle. So I'll switch that off, and I'll switch it on really quick. And then it has the third axle there. And then if I switch this off, and then let it do its thing as far as getting it close to 0 there. Get close. And then just let that weight stabilize. So that simulates me pulling off the scale. And then it tabulates a gross weight on there. And it totals it up on the remote display as well. You'll see that displayed. So that's the first part of the process. And then if I'm going to come back into the outbound, now it says outbound. And then I will just, for this instance, I will make the weights different. Okay. Okay, we'll let that settle in. And then for my second, there, I'll let that settle. So it captures that. I'm going to simulate on down, and then this will be my final axle weight. Switch it back on. Okay, I'll settle in there. Okay, capture that. So you see my third axle weight has been captured, and then I'm going to go ahead and then just zero this out. Okay, then it should take and do the math and subtract the two weights. So the first initial series will be subtracted from the second series as soon as that settles in, and then it will give us a total of the two weights. So let's just print gross total. And then you can see that displayed on the remote display as well, the total there. And that's the in and outbound process. So once again, I was kind of focused on the weight adjustments, but what you'll see is the green is go, and then the red light means when it is thinking and it is capturing the weight. And then the remote display displays, you'll have the series of each of the axles. So if you have a series of 3 weights, it's going to take the first weight, second weight, and then third weight, combine all of them, and then on the in and out feature, same thing. It takes the 3 weights, combines them, and then it takes the first weight series, or the first weighing session rather, and subtracts it from the second weighing session. So if you're coming in heavier or lighter, it'll subtract the first series from the second series, and then it'll give you a total weight, so weighing in and out. That usually happens if you don't know what your empty weight is, so it's a good way to eliminate the tare process, in other words. So through that whole process, what we're looking for is displayed weight here with a total weight, so each axle, and then it adds it up at the end. And then also what we're looking at here is green means go, red means stop, and then here's our regular visual display. So that's how the in and out process works.